Good morning, this is Steve Marking, your Rivalorian, and we are here at Plantation, sugar plantation with the best story in the South, in my humble opinion as a Rivalorian. It's a story that you need to come here and see.
My name is Lindy Guidry-Neal, and I am from Louisiana. Like growing up in the swamps of Louisiana, it's hard to find words because I'm so grateful for it all. That, of course, I'm a descendant of enslaved peoples, both on my indigenous and black sides.
And grace my fears relieve.
That, yes, to own another human being is inherently violent. You know, that it was understood that if an enslaved person ran away, that they were branded. If they did that more than 3 times, they were executed. It was not strange or cruel or unusual at this time to be beating and branding and raping enslaved people. You know, there's maybe this myth, this idea that after the war they were free, and so why did they not leave? 85% of former slaves did not leave the South following the Civil War, and it's understanding that while 4.5 million people were freed by the Union's victory and the 13th Amendment, that 4.5 million people were also facing a kind of poverty that I think very few people will ever understand. Often what you see are these purposeful inequities. Here it was in the form of a company store where those who had been formerly enslaved were now paid, but they weren't paid in cash, they were paid in tokens. It's a circular economy, and it was done on purpose. And there's that and the intersection of Jim Crow laws, which were intentional. If you couldn't enslave these people any longer, then you incarcerated them. Once they were incarcerated, the convict lease program allowed them to be rented out to plantations. You know, we can call slavery a lot of things. It goes by a lot of names and it has a lot of faces, but that does not mean that it evaporated in 1865. This story is not being told maybe in this way in other places, but I couldn't imagine it being told any other way. It's really important for us to tell the truth.
And also I thought it was really interesting how Laura continues to live this life of privilege and excess, and you know, that her family, relative to many others following the war who were previously slaveholders, that, you know, she's nearly unaffected by it.
You know, changing policy and changing laws is so important, you know, like absolutely. The Civil Rights Act of 1964, critical policy changes in American history. It is a wholly other thing for people to change their minds and to change their hearts and to change how they treat one another.